Hi, I'm Jimmy Colefax, and this is The Story. Today, our guest once again is Diana Abruzzi, who is the founder and chairman of the International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry. As we've been hearing, the Lord led Diana to smuggle Bibles into China and other countries back in the 1980s. Now, here's more of Diana sharing her story with Eric Scatterbo.
Now, unfortunately, we're quickly running out of time, but there was this other part of your life where you founded the International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry. Can you tell us, how did that come about?
Well, I better do that quickly. Well, the thing is, I had noticed we were in a small business ourselves, and I became very involved with chambers of commerce, and I was on their state council and so forth, and the only woman, mind you, at that time. And
again, you're a pioneer.
And I used to say to the guys, "You're so kind to let me on this." I used to really rib them sometimes. But anyway, in moving around as I did in business, I became very, very aware of that women really were having it tough because the banks were not lending them money. They had to use their own money or any other source, their parents' money or something. But the banks were still where a woman will go into a bank, she'd have to take a man with her. Of course, he would talk to the man, not to the woman. It's her business, not his. But anyway, we're going through all of that. And I said to them at one council meeting, and I said, now, come on. I said, we got to do something about women in business. And they boo-hooed me. They said, look, we do everything we can. They can join us, the chamber and so forth. No, I said, no. I said, you're not understanding. They have more issues and more obstacles than what you gentlemen have. And I said, you need to do something. Anyway, I went on about it for about 3 or 4 months. And then I was at a meeting and I said, listen, gentlemen, you're not listening to me. So I'm going off and I'm going to start a chamber of commerce for women. And they all went up in shock.
Oh,
absolute shock. And they said, Diana, why are you going to do that? I said, because you're not doing anything. I'm going to do something. So then when I tried to register it as a chamber of commerce, they wouldn't let me. I said, okay.
Why wouldn't they let you?
Because they didn't want a women's chamber of commerce.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I'll call it a federation. Take the word chamber out of it and call it a federation. So we became the International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry. And then the battle began again. Every move I made, everything I did, they kept on saying, you know, you should be doing this, plan, and you should be. They tried to control me. Wonderful men in my life who have really caught on to what I was doing and were very, very supportive. The others boo-hooed it, tried to stop it, and so forth. So anyway, so we proceeded. And I remember I had this vision, this dream that God gave me in the convent. And I came back.
You were in a convent?
I went into a convent, not as a nun.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure I understood this.
Because when I came, I had to go backtrack. When
it was a retreat.
A retreat, yes.
Right, okay.
When I came back from China for the last one, I felt God saying, it's finished. And I felt he said, I want you to go back into the marketplace.
Okay.
That's where things started to go differently. So I said, Lord, you're going to have to help me here because I've got the business and so forth. So you've got to direct me. So I went away for a retreat. And in that retreat, I said, God, you just got to guide me here. So I prayed, and the nuns were very concerned because I wasn't eating, I was fasting and all sorts of things and just walking in the beautiful garden. Gosh, they had a gorgeous garden. Always on the last night, always on the 12th hour. I wish God would not do that. The 12th hour. Anyway, the night before I was leaving, just like when I was doing the Bible drop, 12th hour, and God gave me the vision. It wasn't, and I was standing on this hill, and I saw this gorgeous tree shadowing me over, and I was looking across the world. And it was the expression on my face. And I said, God, I could never be that person. I could never be that person. And so it went like this inside me. I went, oh my gosh, if I don't do what God wants me to do, what do I do? Sit in the pew in the church and do nothing? I thought, oh, that's not me. So I went back to the Lord and I said, all right, Lord. I said, I'll do it. Whatever it takes, I'll do it if you're with me. So it came back. Just a bit more mildly, though, not quite as dynamic, but it came back. And as I was leaving the convent, a voice in my head said, go in my name, and lo, I am with you always. And that began the journey of starting IWCI. But in that journey, when God gives you a vision, doesn't mean to say he's going to do it the next day. Now began the time of preparation, preparing me for this journey with what I'm doing. And as I reached this age, taking with 60 business cards, no money, with a vision that God had given me, today we're now in 17 countries.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Now, that is another journey.
And you're still going strong personally?
And I'm still going strong.
Can I mention that you're in your 8th decade?
Yes.
And you barely made time for us to be able to talk today. So thankful that you fit us in, just barely in between meetings.
Just letting you know, I am 83.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now I just wanted to say that.
But it's not the end. Can I just add one more thing, if I could?
I just wanted to clarify first, though, that you obviously were led by the Lord as a Christian to start this organization to help women in businesses.
Yes.
But it isn't specifically a Christian ministry.
No, but it is a tent maker.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
I mean that in the Bible, it talks about building a tent in areas. Now, what it has done is that I speak all over the world now in different countries where all my chapters are. And I speak so many times, and I speak with God's words.
So you're able to use this as a vehicle to share your faith.
Yes. And the people on board with me are beautiful Christians.
Okay.
So, and everyone has told me, if all the organizations they have joined and been part of, they have never seen or felt something that's so different with our organization. There's no cattiness, there's no competing with anyone. It's about everyone helping each other and working together.
The way it should be.
Yes, of course. Many cultures, I deal with many cultures across those 17 countries. And it was a big learning curve for me. It also taught me the richness of these cultures, beautiful richness of cultures. And they do have beautiful things. And I began to truly appreciate the beauty of some of these countries. And I'm going to be talking to some Romanians who are going to be launching their Chamber of Commerce here. And they want me to be their keynote speaker. And there's going to be, I think, about 1,000 people there.
Oh, wow.
Now, again, I have a platform to speak from.
Yes.
You see, God works not only as I guide every one of these countries in the branches, I guide them with God's thinking, the way God would do it. And I'm always saying in my speeches, God bless you. My faith has held me tight. And I always bring in my faith and so forth and what God has done for me. And so that others will see. And as I said to them, an idea is mightier than an army. An idea. Take your idea in the hand of God and make something of it. The gift God has given you. And there's so many ways that you can reach people who don't know God. If I'd been a Christian group, then it would have just been people who were Christians. I want to go out beyond and empower the Christians to go beyond too. But they're building businesses, we're exporting, we're trading, where governments are now talking to me about different things.
Yeah. Sounds like you're just getting started at a time that a lot of people would be going on holiday and visiting their grandkids.
Well, all I can say is to everyone, if I can leave this, in our own country, Australia, I would say have your ears to hear and the eyes to see. Because if you don't, there will be people who will take things from you if you are not careful. It's the time to have your voice to stop things that could actually become part and by law in this country. I say be careful, be very, very careful, and have your voice and be strong, because our country is under spiritual attack in so many ways. Without saying what those particular areas are, I think a lot of us already are aware. We are aware of those. And I think we need to start having a voice in these areas.
And you're all too familiar with overcoming oppression.
Oh my gosh. I've seen what it does to people. I've seen what it does. It begins with where governments shut your voice. Next thing is they shut down the authority of parents over their children. These are the steps of oppressors. And please just keep your eyes open. Please keep your eyes open and your ears to hear. It's just so important.
And we're going to have to leave it right there because we've run out of time. But thank you so much for sharing your story with us and your wisdom, Diana Abruzzi.
My pleasure. My great pleasure.
Well, that was Eric Scatterbo chatting with Diana Abruzzi about her amazing life journey. As we heard, Diana has been fighting against oppression and injustices her whole life. First, in the 1980s, she was determined to help Chinese Christians overcome oppression from the communist government by smuggling Bibles into the country. Then, years later, she began to help women overcome the challenges they faced starting small businesses. Diana became the founder and chairman of the International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry. For more information about the federation, their website is abbreviated to simply iwfci.org. Once again, that's iwfci.org. Finally, Diana would be the first to say that she was only able to help people because of her strong reliance on the Lord for guidance and direction. As the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him and He will direct your paths. Well, thanks for joining us for part 2 of Diana Abruzzi's story. I'm Jimmy Colefax, encouraging you to share your story with someone today.
The story. Just another way Vision is helping you look to God daily.